What's going on, guys? It is the first episode of the Cover 2 podcast. It's been a long time, a lot of pre production stuff, and we're finally here. And it's football season. As you can see on the screen, the Lions upset the defending Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead in a shocker of a game. I'm here with my boy Lance. He's going to be co hosting with me today. Lance, what's going on, bro?
How you doing, man? I'm just happy football's back.
Bro, it is a wonderful time of the year. So some would call it an upset without Travis Kelsey and Chris Jones. Obviously, Kelsey due to injury, Chris Jones being Mr. Holdout right now, trying to get a pay raise like we all are. What was some of your takeaway from the game? Now, obviously, it being a one-score game and holding the Chiefs to under 30 points is tough, but how the Lions ended last season, I don't think Detroit fans will think this is an upset. I think Chiefs are thinking, what the hell are we doing? Even though they were missing, their all worldly pass catcher.
Yeah, I think this was more of a situation where the Chiefs lost this game more than the Lions won it.
Yeah.
Uh, we also learned that Dan Campbell, that man,
Bro, he's got balls of
I
steel.
wish, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the fact that it wasn't their opening drive, but early in the
It was their
game,
second drive.
their second drive, you fake punt on your own 17. That is
Hmm.
whatever gall or gumption he's got. That is that's nuts. When I was watching and I
You
saw
don't even do
that,
that in Madden.
bro, like, but I'm still at a loss for words. Like, how ballsy is that to go for it? Not only to go for it, to fake punt. And if you saw, the Chiefs
Uh,
special team coach was pissed.
yeah, like they were expecting them to do something, some type of trickery at some point in the game. I don't even think they were expecting it that early in the game, but they were definitely expecting something,
Yeah.
and that's why that special teams coach was pissed.
Oh, I'd been livid. I'd been like, bro, are you serious? Like,
I would have been embarrassed.
I, I'd been punching pillows right after the game. So like, when it comes to, I could tell really early, because really early in the game, if Goff, and we know this about Jared Goff, when he is under pressure, he turns into a pumpkin, a watermelon, whatever, a standing cone, whatever he turns into a below average NFL quarterback. Now, I didn't think he went down. Hold on, you know what? I'm looking at the stats. He did go down one time, but
Hmm.
I thought he looked awesome. I thought Goff looked good. He was 22 for 35, 253, a touchdown, no picks. Like, it was if this is what the Lions team is going to look like this year, they could I I could, if Dan Campbell puts this team out on every Sunday, every Thursday, Sunday, or Monday, whenever they play every week, this team could win the
Hmm.
NFC North.
Yeah, and I placed my bets this at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
and they were my pick to win the North.
It's just like they're all like in the second half, their offensive line started to maul Kansas City. They
Yes,
because they have a really good offensive line. Their running attack is awesome. I think they use Jameer Gibbs how they're going to use him. I mean, he only had 2 catches for 18 yards this game, but just get him the ball and watch.
they need to get him out on the field. He spent too much time on the sidelines.
I agree. I don't have the snap count in front, but he spent a lot of time on the sideline, or because he is a very high energy guy. Just get him the ball and
Yep.
watch. And he's someone that if you put him on the field, the other defense has to be like, okay, holy shit, where's Jameer Gibbs? And then what's
Yeah,
even
I
more
mean, cause
scary is if
I'm looking at it. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off,
no,
but
you're good.
I'm
Continue.
I'm looking at it now. Montgomery had 21 carries for 74 yards. That's an
Mm-hmm.
average of 3.5 yards a carry.
Yeah,
Gibbs had 7 carries for 42 yards.
that's six
I
a
mean, he's
clip.
almost doubling the average.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's doubling the average of Montgomery on a third of the touches.
I think that it's in a sense of maybe hit may I'm with you. I think you need to find ways to put him on the field, whether that be sending him out wide and putting him in motion. Because what do we know about NFL defenses? When someone goes in motion, it's like, okay, wait, when's the ball going to be snapped? Is he going to the opposite side of the field? Is he going in the backfield? What's the what? First of all, what are you doing in motion? Number two, where do you end up in your motion?
Yeah,
So, like, for the Chiefs side, I'm looking like Mahomes. He was 21 for 39, 226, two touchdowns, and the pick six that shouldn't have been a pick. But it amazes me because
Kadarius Toney, Lions MVP.
God, that's crazy. Because like,
That man, uh, that man trick y'all. We're the Russell Westbrook. He trick y'all. He just be running around out there.
because like he's really good. Don't get me wrong. Kadarius Toney is a good wide receiver. His questions were, can you stay healthy? And
Hmm.
I mean, he had one. Okay, rushing wise, he had one carry for -1 yards. Fine, because Andy Reid is a
That was
master.
at end of round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy Reid's a mastermind. He's gonna try and get us playmakers the ball, but in the receiving game, you had one catch for 1 yard and down one. The Chiefs' last offensive drive, you drop a 20-plus yard gain to put y'all in field goal range just off your hands.
Yeah.
That,
He
that thing,
was targeted the most. He was tied with two other people for the most targets in the game
yeah,
for the Chiefs between him, Rashee Rice, and Noah Gray, and he had one catch.
for 1 yard.
Yeah.
So, what were some of your takeaways when it comes to the Chiefs' defense? Because I thought they did a really good job early.
Mhm.
The thing about playing these physical teams like the Lions or like the Titans from a couple years ago, you just get exhausted and you're tired of their
Mhm.
quarterback hiking the ball, turning around, and just saying, "Go tackle this monster," and it'll
Yeah.
wear you out. And the
Uh.
Lions' offensive line just they mauled.
Mhm. The thing that I noticed a lot about the Chiefs is they cannot afford to have Chris Jones hold out. They either need to pay him immediately or get rid of him and find someone adequate enough to replace him.
Because like
Because
you look
right
last.
now he is a distraction.
Oh my God, when they showed him at the game on his phone with his agents next to him, I'm like, oh shit. Because they were number one. They were number
Yeah.
one. They were number one in pressures last year with Chris
Mhm.
Jones
And to
and
only sack Jared Goff one time.
like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like that does so. I just do they win? Do the Chiefs win if Travis Kelsey plays? Maybe they lost by one, and I
Probably.
probably do they win if Chris Jones and Travis Kelsey play? I would put I
Probably.
probably yeah. So like when it comes to getting your guys onto the field, it amazes me as to like if I were to build a team and if I were to build an NFL team, I get my quarterback, I get his blind side, and then I get somebody to go get your quarterback. And Chris Jones, he doesn't play on the edge; he plays on the interior, but he's still that guy for the Chiefs team to go get their quarterback.
Yep.
And
It's funny you bring up the line.
yeah,
That
I don't know. It like
man,
uh,
Jawan Taylor, How do you spend 96% of the game false starting and then get mad that 4% because it was called one time when he was off or false starting every single play?
At the
And now, that was a
continue.
big topic on Twitter, but now let's look over at the left side
Mm-hmm.
at my boy Donovan Smith. He is a holding merchant, and he got away with a ransom tonight.
I
He did get hit with one in the crucial fourth quarter on that one drive where they got a first down and got called back. He should have got hit with at least 3 or 4 holding calls.
I think
Those
that
tackles scare me.
it that's the thing with if you had once again it goes back to you get your quarterback, you get your line, and then you go get somebody to go get their quarterback. So like we saw
Mm-hmm.
this when the Chiefs made their second Super Bowl with Mahomes in the Mahomes era. They got bulldozed because their offensive line was piss poor. And
Yes,
then they play against a Eagles team in last year's Super Bowl, which were, correct me if I'm wrong, they were number one in sacks last year, right?
they were.
54, 56, somewhere in there. So like, and
Yeah, someone in that ballpark.
and Mahomes was clean. So like this game, he was clean. Excuse me, most of it. But the thing is, it's like when it comes down to it,
He was
you
running.
he was running, and I feel like if you have your guy, which they do, I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how the offense, like you have Creed Humphrey, superstar. Joe
Dog.
Tooney is an awesome guard. You have Trey Smith.
Dog.
From your center and your two guard spots, they're awesome. And then your two tackles are
Mm-hmm.
shaky. But the thing is, they play mostly on an island. You can afford to have a
Mm-hmm.
subpar guard because he's getting
Yeah.
chips and helped by the center. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have a subpar tackle like the Chiefs played like it tonight, it's going to end up something like this. Like Mahomes was their leading rusher.
Yeah.
He had 6 carries for 45 yards. So
Mm-hmm.
and guess what? I watched every snap. I don't think a single one of them were a designed quarterback run.
No.
So it and
No.
the thing about like quarterback design runs and trickery, when it was 3rd and 1 and the Chiefs were still down 1, the end around that they ran to Rashee Rice,
Mm-hmm.
like I love Andy Reid as a play caller. I love him as an offensive mind. I think as a head coach, he is up there with some of the greats. Obviously, every coach has their flaws,
Mm-hmm.
but he
Mm-hmm.
got too cute.
Yeah.
And I saw it early. I saw it early when they first got to like I don't know the 2 yard line when they
Mm-hmm.
direct snap to their back, hand off to Mahomes, and then run another end run. And I'm just like, it's great when it works, and it is awful when it doesn't work. It just looks
When it
like, bro,
does.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I I I
I don't think they were expecting the Lions to go in there and punch him in the mouth the way that they did.
right. Like they physically beat them up.
Mm-hmm.
They physically beat them up. Like it amazes me how certain teams, and once again, no one wants to just no one wants to sit there and tackle the whole game because the quarterback is just snap, handoff, snap, handoff, snap, handoff. That's going to wear you down.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at a good offensive line in the Lions that they just they just flat out bullied the Chiefs. There's no cuts, no butts, no coconuts. They just got bullied. Like there's no other way to say it other than they got bullied.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Now, will the Chiefs probably bounce back? Yeah, because
Yeah.
they have the best player in the NFL and one of, if not the best coach in the NFL. So
Mhm.
it amazes me as to how you they run like a three running back system, but between both their running backs that even got touches, they only ran the ball 14 times. Like,
The Chiefs, they had 23 total rushing yards,
yeah,
with 6 of them being Mahomes' scrambles.
yeah. So I was gonna say I'm sitting here looking at it like Isaiah Pacheco. He had 8 carries. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had
Mhm.
6 carries. Like, you cannot have your running back have 2 more carries than your quarterback. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It amazes me as to how certain teams, like, I understand having a philosophy and, oh, this is what we do. We throw the ball. But there are certain
Mhm.
times in the game where it's like, when they going into half, they were up 14-7 and they got ball. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're gonna start to work in their backs more. They're gonna try and start. No, once
Mhm.
again, you can't just eat up the clock right when you get ball at half, but you can take some time to try and slow them down. Slow down what
Mhm.
very little momentum the Giants. I said the Giants. The Lions. The Lions created, because then that led to Kadarius Toney dropping a wide open pass and leading to a pick six, which it Kadarius Toney needs to bounce back this week, because you know what? Let's see who the Chiefs have next week. If I'm correct, they have the Jags. They have the Jags in Jacksonville.
Mhm.
The Jags defense can get torched. It can, but
Mhm.
from what we saw tonight, so can the Chiefs defense. And I understand they're still young. Like, Trent McDuffie's gonna be a dog.
Yes, I like him a lot.
He forcing the fumble when it looked like the Lions were about to go and tie the game up. That it There are certain things you just can't teach. You can't teach a nose for the football, and he had a nose of, all
Yeah.
right, I'm finna put helmet to ball and jar it out. Nick Bolton, he amazes me every time I watch him. Every time I watch him, he seems like
Yeah.
he is in every single play around the line of scrimmage. There was a
He's a ball hawk.
he just there are certain defensive players that play like offensive players. They just
Mhm.
smell the ball and go get it.
Mhm.
And for the Lions, like, this is an awesome win. It's awesome because they were, I'm not going to say a social media team, but you can see these teams where the first year under Dan Campbell, he won what, 2 3 games, and then last year
Mhm.
9 and a game out of making the playoffs. You're like, okay, I can see the storm coming. And then this year they knock
Yeah.
off the defending Super Bowl champs on banner night.
On their banner night. Yeah.
It 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 just goes to show, like, I'm not picking the Lions to make the Super Bowl, but I think on any given Sunday they could go into any venue and beat anyone.
Yes. I agree with that 100%.
And
I'm big on the lines this year. I am. I bought into the hype.
I
I'm invested.
I bought into the hype. Oh, and we didn't even touch on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like,
What's known don't have to be said.
right,
That
like,
man is a dog.
it it amazes me when you just like you said, didn't have to say anything. He just
Yeah.
he goes out there, and he might not get his stars like some of the other younger receivers that are ballers. like an AJ Brown or Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson,
Mhm.
but Amon-Ra's in that class. Like,
Oh yeah.
would you rather have him or Scary Terry McLaurin?
I'm gonna take a monitor, honestly. Scary as a dog, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he's in that class of a top. I'd say at worst, he's a top 12 receiver at worst.
Yeah, I can see that.
I, I think this every year teams need a punch in the mouth loss. This was the Chiefs. Like you look at last year,
I
they lost to the
I'm not
Colts.
gonna say that. I think the Chiefs are gonna have one more loss. That's gonna be their punch in the mouth. I think this is gonna be something that lights a fire under them for sure. But I don't think this is that punch in the mouth type of loss because the Lions are no scrub of a team. The Colts team that they lost to last year, that was a scrub team. That was a wake up call. This was just a good game, and you're missing your top two players besides Mahomes.
Yeah, I but still they were still in position to win, and I think that's what's going to piss the Chiefs off.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Because like holy hell, how many drops did they have? How many giant plays were just hitting the hands, off the fingertips, just
Yeah, that deep drag Tony had in the fourth quarter on that last drive before it went to 4th and 20.
yeah.
That, you can't drop that ball. That is a 25-yard game, putting you in field goal position with a chance at shoot clock, and you got a freaking ace of a kicker who can hit anything inside 55 yards.
He can kick the pigskin out of the football.
Yeah.
And he dropped it.
Mhm.
Like
He's definitely in his head.
that's the story. Like
Mhm.
Kadarius Toney. Now once again, do I think that's the sole reason they lost? No.
No.
But a big chunk of this pie goes to it. And like I said earlier, I don't like the 3rd and 1 end around. That
No.
lost you 3 yards, and then you punt anyway.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like this team is going to be really interesting for. I can't wait to see the headlines tomorrow.
The headlines are going to be interesting. Now, the question that I have is, I saw reports whenever the old offensive coordinator, I can't pronounce his last name, but his first name's Eric. He's the Commander's new coordinator now.
Be enemy.
Reports were saying that he was doing, yeah, he was
Yep.
doing worse with, like, they were saying that he wasn't doing as much as the media was making it seem. They were like, oh, this offense can run with anyone at the helm.
No, because
Is that something that's true?
now it's awesome when you have a all-time great offensive mind sitting right next to you in Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
You're in those rooms. You know,
Yeah.
like there's knowledge all in the room. But the thing is, like now that you're in another setting, I'm not saying Andy Reid was holding his hand. So I think that it's a lot of the bouncing ideas off another offensive mind that thinks along the same line as he does. Because
Mm-hmm.
we know what Riverboat Ron is. He's a defensive guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not gonna see eye to eye, and they have the weapons in Washington like Curtis Samuel and Scary Terry, and we're gonna see what Sam Howell has.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm excited to see him.
like their first game, the Commanders' first game, it's against the Cardinals. I think they'll. I was gonna say I think they'll whop the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have no reason to fight or win other than pride. They're down Kyler
Yeah.
Murray. They're starting Josh Dobbs. It's a for what game?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, they're not even guaranteed Caleb Williams if they do lose out.
Yeah, and if I'm Caleb Williams, I'm not going there.
No.
I'll go and see who's bad next year and go from there.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
with you being a Bucks fan,
Yes.
side note, Lance is a diehard Bucks fan.
Yes, sir.
We saw rumblings
Since
on
'99.
since '99. We saw rumblings on the interweb that Mike Evans could be traded.
Canceling my season passes.
We saw
Canceling them. They're done.
we saw a team tonight in the Chiefs struggle with wide receivers. Could you see? Could you see Mike Evans strapping on the red and getting traded to the Chiefs? Because
Let me put this in.
go on.
Could I see it from a football world?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now as a fan,
From a from a fan and just someone who's seeing what the Bucks organization does. Um, I think there's about a 4% chance that he gets traded,
to
and a
anyone.
96% chance that he stays. Yes. Um, Now I'm saying that because I just don't see them trading away their guy. Mike Evans is a home picked guy. He's not a home pick. He's from Texas, but first round draft pick. Been there his entire career. Been a focal point of the offense. 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He's gonna be in the Bucks Ring of Honor. You know, he's been the guy, no matter what, on that team. He has undoubtedly been the most popular player for the past 9 years on the Bucks, besides when Brady was here. Um, they're either gonna ride it out and hope he stays with and try and figure out something throughout the year, but I don't think there's a way they trade him
Now,
because they're gonna want to try and accommodate to him. And they're not gonna send him you know somewhere he doesn't want to be. I would lose all respect for for the Glazers and the Bucks organization if they sent him to some dumpster fire team just because they gave them the biggest haul. Like you gotta either pay him out and let it ride, or put him somewhere where he wants to be.
yeah,
But I think they're just gonna pay him out.
which is fair because like Mike Evans is a if you look at him from a numbers point of view, he's awesome. And as a talent, he's awesome. Now,
Yes,
I don't now see I'm big on the what is our season goal?
it really depends on how our first 4 games go because we got a bye week 5. If we're 1-3 or 0-4, we're just gonna sell out. I think we're gonna pull Baker, start Trash, see what he can do, um, and just kind of ride the season out from there. But if I think if we start out steady, like 2-2, get lucky enough to go 3-1, we got some tough games coming up. But
Yeah.
it really depends on how our season starts.
I mean, you have a
Because
a
yeah,
I think you guys have a puncher's chance against the Vikings this week because the Vikings are coming off of a gut-wrenching loss in the playoffs and just an incredible season last year. In every single
yeah,
one-score games that they were in, they won, other than the wild card game.
yeah.
You're, and then there were rumors going into the year about Devin White wanting to get paid and then requesting a trade, and then him, you know, taking that down.
His secret meeting, yeah.
His
Um,
secret meeting.
yeah, it's Bucks are in for a ride, but the only good thing about that, my bad. Um, both of them guys want to be there. Mike wants to be there. Devin wants to be there. You know, they just want that financial security for them, which 110% makes sense.
Hmm.
I want to see everyone get paid.
Correct.
It's just a matter on how we get them paid.
How you can fit it under the cap.
Yeah.
See, to me, the Bucks are a team that if they go 3-7, 2-6 to start, I could see coming trade deadline them being sellers rather than writing it out.
Yeah.
Like, even though I think Levante David is a Buccaneer through and through, I think he would, I think they would consider all options, moving
Mhm.
White, David, Godwin, Evans, just or at least testing the waters to see what's out there they can get. Because
Mhm.
a successful season, I think for the Bucks would be a 6, 7, 8 win team, finish second or third in the division. As long as you can't
Okay.
bottom out to this division. This division is awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. Like, could you compete for the division? I don't think the Saints' roster is better than the Bucks. If it is, it's by a smidgen.
And I think that's quarterback play.
I agree 100%. I think like the Saints have the best quarterback in the division. Yes. From roster top to bottom, the only big change for the Bucks is Brady and Donovan Smith.
Uh, hey, hold on. Now I'm gonna get disrespectful for a second. That boy Donovan Smith is trash. We upgraded by getting rid of him. We are up. He is broke. I don't care. That holding merchant. I'm glad he is gone.
Let me guess, you're happy
Chiefs fans will soon realize.
cuz
he was the one Buccaneer I was happy to see go to the Kansas City Chiefs. They will realize.
they will they will rue the day. Oh my god. See, like for everyone that's like the Bucks team are going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, I'm like it's not a bad roster. At the
It's not. It's really not.
It's a middle of the pack
We're in the position that we
to
were. Yeah.
with Jameis
Like,
before
yeah.
Brady.
That's exactly where we are now.
You just
Yeah.
have Baker in there
The
now.
year or two before Brady. Yeah. I mean,
You're a middle of the pack team fighting for the
it's
division.
it's yeah, which
And
is
before you look at Super Bowl, I think you have to start in division. I think I'd say you guys have a decent chance of winning the division, considering that you have rookie quarterback Bryce Young. Don't know who he's going to be throwing to. DJ Chark. I like
Adam
DJ
Thielen.
Chark. And Adam Thielen's like 40. Well, he's not 40, but he's not what he used to be in Minnesota. Um, then like you look at Atlanta, they're just young and inexperienced. I think Bijan's going to be a dog, but the thing is like they've just got a bunch of young dudes. Like the first thing I look at when it comes to evaluating teams, who's your quarterback?
Mhm.
The ball is in their hands
Yeah,
every single
and the
play.
NFC South is
It's
yeah, it's 100% the worst. Desmond
it's
Ritter, Bryce Young,
Derek
Bryce
Carr.
Young with an asterisk and a question mark. Derek
Yeah.
Carr, Baker Mayfield / Kyle Trask, depending on what goes on in the first 4 weeks.
All right, so it's like I could see you guys potentially winning the division. But my
Yeah.
Steelers, though,
Mm.
Niners, Nick Bosa, your buns. I'm kidding. Do not hurt Kenny Pickett this week. Like when I think we'll win, and I think for all the media people that are, oh, the Steelers are going to be the breakout team. I'm like, we don't want y'all. Get off the bandwagon. Go away. Go get on Detroit. We Everyone picked us to lose last year, and we still ended up with a winning season. And all we did was get better.
Mhm.
And
It's a Mike Tomlin
don't
led team. A Mike Tomlin led team has never been sorry.
no, we're always good or above average. There's no in between. Even the year Big Ben popped his elbow, we traded our first round pick, got Minka Fitzpatrick, and still won 8 games.
Yeah, and then was it what the next year you guys started out like 13-0 or something like that?
11-0. Then
Yeah.
we lost to the football team, man. That was the first year of the football
Gosh.
team too.
Yeah, they really said we're going to be called the football team. We're going to beat the Steelers
And
11-0 streak, and then we're just going to change our name again.
oh my god. I think we have a I think we have an easy schedule, and to everyone listening, the millions around the globe, don't call it an upset when we win the division. We going crazy.
I have you guys. I have you guys. That's such a tough division. It honestly might be one of the better, if not top 1 to 2 divisions in football. You guys got Ravens, Browns,
Don't say Browns.
what Bengals too, right?
Yeah. Don't say Browns. Browns are
Bengals and
they're
Steelers. Browns are finishing at the bottom of that division 100%.
thank
That
you.
that is my 110% prediction that the Browns are going to finish dead last in that division.
They're
And
bad.
even then, they're going to finish like what is it, like 8, 8, and 9?
Eight, 8 and 9, 7 and 10. They won't be horrible, but
Yeah, they
Deshaun.
they would be competing for the NFC South if they were in it. Let's just say that.
Like it's one of those where there's no bad team in the division, but 1 to 2 teams are gonna miss the playoffs. So I
Yeah,
I don't think Deshaun Watson from 3 4 years ago has walked through the door
we don't know that yet. We
and
haven't seen him
out.
play really.
He got what 6 games last year.
Yeah, and he looked kind of pretty bad.
Hmm.
Oh, he like mid. Yeah.
Yeah, mid to bad. But once again, he took a year and a half off of football, so
Yeah.
I'd expect him to be rusty. But once again, don't call don't call it an upset when we win the division because KP to GP is going crazy.
I can see it. Realistically, though, I still have the highest paid player in the league winning that division.
As of 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago,
Hmm. I still have the Bengals winning it.
I'd continue.
I think your division is going to be a division with 3 playoff teams. I think you guys sneak in with a wild card spot, or the Ravens sneak in with a wild card spot.
See, it's
I think you and the Ravens are going to have the same record. It's just
one's gonna
someone's
be
going to get the 2 slot for
yeah.
the division record.
Right, and like I think the Bengals losing both their safeties and their second best corner, in my opinion, that is gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Now, once again, maybe Joe Burr is still that guy, and maybe they average 26, 20, like 8 points a game, and they're fine. But I don't know. And then, not looking ahead too much, then you probably won't have T Higgins next year because Joe Burrow just got paid. Jamar Chase is finna get paid right after. Like
Hello.
Hello.
It cut out for a minute. Last thing I heard was maybe Joe Burrow.
if Joe Burrow stays who he has been, got no problems there. They're not gonna have T Higgins next year
Yeah.
because Joe Burrow just got paid, and then
Mhm.
after Justin Jefferson gets paid, Jamar Chase is gonna get paid, and you can't have two
Mhm. And
28+ million receivers on your team. You just can't.
yeah.
You can, but then you're going to lose the two good offensive linemen they have. Joe Mixon's probably not going to be there, even though they restructured his contract. You're going to lose your, what good defensive players you have.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It amazes me how, like, we saw the template with Mahomes, and I'm not saying this is the template that everyone has to use. You get a rookie quarterback, you build around him because he's cheap, and then you try and compete for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or you have a cheap quarterback who is bad, and then you dump off salary cap, and then you bring in a veteran like what the Bucks did.
Mhm.
Because the roster was stacked. They just needed a quarterback. When they got a
Yeah.
quarterback, it started out rocky. Because, COVID, no training camp, XYZ, but they still ended up winning the Super Bowl anyways.
Yeah.
All right, and that is going to wrap up our instant reactions. It was awesome talking for 40 minutes. It'll be an awesome episode one, and you can expect these Sunday all after every Steeler game. There's going to be an instant reaction video up. We'll try and get at least 2-3 episodes a week. Probably Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when the upload schedule should go. Don't have exact times, but Lance, it was awesome to do the first episode with you. It's always awesome seeing it's always awesome seeing friends that share ideologies and stuff like that come together, and this is the beginning of something
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
It was
guys.
it was a
Well,
lot of fun. Appreciate you having me on.
wonderful. And remember, you are always welcome on here to talk your shit, spread your opinion. Just like Chris Jones said, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. So,
Yes.
Chiefs, if you're watching, pay Chris Jones.
Or get rid of them and get something adequate.
What Lance said. All right. Well, we'll be seeing you guys later.